All right, I get it. You're probably over all the hype about XRP or some hidden gem coin that's supposedly going to skyrocket overnight and make everyone millionaires. Same story, different day, right? But hear me out for a second. What if I told you we're actually on the verge of entering one of the most exciting phases of the cycle for altcoins? No gimmicks, no clickbait, no over-the-top promises. In this video, I'm breaking it all down. How close we are to the start of alt season, why I believe June could mark the beginning of something big, and how by year's end, many altcoin holders might just find themselves in a whole new financial bracket. So buckle up, let's dive in and talk about what's really going on under the surface. Let's dive into the sea of red that's still dominating the market. Despite the recent sell-off, most altcoins remain down, but not all hope is lost. XRP is shining in the green, ICP is also holding strong, and a few other altcoins are showing signs of life. Still, the majority of the market feels like it's swimming in rough waters. Right now, the market's floating just under a 3.3 trillion cap. Bitcoin sits at roughly $105,500.00. We'll dig into that in a moment. Beyond this, the rest of the market seems pretty calm and steady. Over the past 7 days, Bitcoin has inched up by 1.54%. Not a groundbreaking move, but hey, progress is progress, right? Over the past week, many older coins have been bouncing back from their lows, but overall, it's been a pretty quiet week in the crypto world. No major shakeups just yet. That said, I don't expect any wild market moves until after the FOMC meeting, scheduled for the middle of the month. It's right around the corner, so stay tuned. For more updates, I've got a midnight video lined up where we'll dive into the weekly candle close and what it could mean for the market. That upcoming video is a must watch. I'll be covering crucial updates on XRP, Bitcoin shorts, and the broader market trends. For now, things seem calm, but don't let that fool you. The real action begins once the week kicks off and the stock market reopens. With the FOMC meeting around the corner, we're gearing up for some serious market volatility and major moves across the board, especially for Bitcoin. That said, let's tread carefully. I've noticed a lot of impatience bubbling up lately with people jumping the gun. Trust me, staying grounded is key right now. The challenge here is that we haven't yet broken through some of the previous highs. What really needs to happen is clearing the 107,000 range. Even then, we're sitting at major resistance, hovering around 106 right now. On this latest swing high, we didn't break any meaningful barriers. We're still stuck in this resistance zone. There's a lot more ground to cover before we can start celebrating progress. Here's the big takeaway. We're approaching some critical levels that need to be cleared. I'll dive into the details in tonight's video, but here's the scoop. Bitcoin's fair value gap sits around the low $90,000 range. If we hit that, it's time to start gearing up, especially for altcoins. We could be staring at some incredible buying opportunities, and I believe this might just be one of the last major ones. Now, I know what you're thinking. Everyone always says this is the last dip, but hear me out. While dips will still happen, they won't cut as deep as this one. We're likely approaching one of the final big swing lows of this cycle, setting the stage for what's next. And what's next? XRP. Yes, all eyes on XRP as it inches closer to a breakout. So whether you're focused on Bitcoin or ready to ride the XRP wave, now is the time to prepare. Let's dive into the market cycle because guess what? Alt season is here and altcoins are warming up for a serious rally. Yes, that includes XRP. But before we start popping champagne, XRP still has some hurdles to clear. Take a look at the 1-year chart on CoinMarketCap. It's obvious there's more climbing to do. Now, I've got my TradingView chart open. And here's a level to watch, $2.40. Breaking past that is step one, but the real magic happens closer to $2.60. That's the December high we need to smash to ignite a proper breakout. Until then, XRP is just waiting for its moment. And let's face it, we're all here for those big explosive moves. Don't worry, I'll break down the chart in detail in just a moment, but first, there are a few other key points we need to discuss. First up, this post from TechDev really caught my attention. It's a sharp take and worth considering. He points out that over the past 2 months, just 8 days drove 99% of Bitcoin's move from $75.00 K to $110.00 K. The other 52 days, pure chop. This pattern isn't new. It's how the market has always worked. and it's not changing anytime soon. Here's the takeaway. The steeper moves are coming, and missing those critical days is risky. Time in the market beats trying to time it. Don't make the classic mistake of trying to outsmart the market, selling high and hoping to buy back lower. That's how people end up stuck on the sidelines, watching the action from afar. TechDev's insight is spot on. Most of the price movement happens in a handful of days, so staying in the game is key. Now shifting gears, what does this mean for XRP? Let's rewind to the start of this impulsive move and see where things might go next. Over a span of 216 days, only 72 days showed actual growth. That's right, just 72 out of 216. Now here's the interesting part. Technically, we've been in an uptrend since way back in June 2022. Zooming out even further, from the very lows of this cycle to where we stand today, only 72 out of 1,090 days have delivered the biggest impulse moves. But here's the kicker. I believe we're on the verge of seeing XRP make a much larger impulse move soon. These explosive surges upward don't happen overnight though. They take patience, timing, and a little faith in the bigger picture. The best moves, after all, are worth the wait. When it comes to XRP, I've been watching this trend line closely, zeroing in on a potential higher low. Right now, it looks like we've hit that point, which is a great sign. The key now is maintaining this level. There's a chance we might see a deep wick before a big recovery, similar to what happened in February. That wick, in my view, could hit around $1.79. However, we might not dip that low and instead retest closer to $1.89 or $1.90. Obviously, I'd rather avoid that drop, but it's worth considering as a possibility. Here's the interesting part. XRP has been trading sideways for 141 days since its peak. A lot of consolidation, but things could be gearing up for a major move soon. Think about it this way. Sometimes all it takes is a handful of days to completely change the game. Take Bitcoin, for example. It only needed 8 days to rocket from $75,000 to $110,000, just 8 days out of 2 months of price action. When it comes to XRP, the story could play out even faster. One major catalyst like the Fed cutting rates or a big announcement could send it soaring in an instant. And here's the kicker. The altcoin market is heating up for something massive. TechDev's chart on the total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin, shows it's been consolidating sideways just below the 2021 highs, like it's gearing up for a breakout. When it happens, we're looking at new all-time highs and price discovery potentially pushing to around 3,700,000,000. My sweet spot, somewhere between 3.7 trillion and 5 trillion for this altcoin cycle. It could climb even higher, but that's where I see things heading. Most people have no clue what's brewing beneath the surface. This altcoin chart is a ticking time bomb, and yet the majority remain completely unaware of its explosive potential. It's primed and ready to take off, but the crowd, they're sitting it out, oblivious to what's happening right in front of them. I've been saying it. June is the pivotal moment I'm keeping my eye on for alt season to ignite. Why? Because while the spotlight on crypto has dimmed and almost no one is paying attention, the stage is quietly being set for something big. Interest in Bitcoin, crypto altcoins, and even XRP is taking a nosedive. Bitcoin's back to levels we haven't seen since October, and the buzz, practically non-existent. Nobody's talking about Bitcoin. Nobody's hyped about crypto. Altcoins, same story. And XRP, forget it. Interest is tanking hard. It's wild to see retail investors so checked out. Why? Simple. XRP has been stuck moving sideways for over 141 days. Bitcoin hit a fresh all-time high recently, but guess what? No one noticed. Retail isn't watching, isn't talking. Blows my mind. We're in a space that's seen massive milestones, yet the energy feels like it's on pause. When it comes to alt season, the buzz right now is all about this time is different. Decode Jar just dropped a killer post on the topic. The narrative, sorry to break it to you, but alt season might be canceled. Seriously, people are saying this time really is different. Or maybe I'm just losing it. Either way, some believe the concept of alt season is dead. The market dynamics have shifted. Others are shouting nonsense. Altcoins are already stuck in a bear market. No alt season, really? That's wild. It's kind of hilarious though, right? The truth is no one wants to believe it. All right, let's take a trip back to 2021, specifically January 2021. Now let's pull up that chart from TechDev real quick. I'm gonna overlay it here because there's something super fascinating I need to highlight. see where 2021 kicks off, that first candle of the year. Look closely at where we were on this chart. Take a moment. All right, now check out that horizontal line right there. That's the point we were at before the massive breakout for altcoins. And just like that, we hit the peak rolling into 2022. Folks, just like tech development is shaping up here, take a look at where we are on this chart. This is the current view. What's your take on where we're headed next? And while we're at it, where do you see XRP going during this time? It's funny, nobody's focusing on altcoins right now, just like they ignored them at the end of 2020 into early 2021, right before alt season kicked off. Check out these comments. No alt season this time. Dump the junk while you can. Altcoins are done. Dead cat bounce. No alt season. The sentiment's clear. No alt season, just Bitcoin's time to shine. Bitcoin has doubled in price, yet there's still no alt season in sight. Maybe alt season is just a myth, a clever narrative. And honestly, I'm starting to agree. What if there's no alt season at all? I don't think we're getting one this time. Think about it. Ethereum and other protocols might be innovative, but they're not treated like money by institutions. They're not flocking to Uniswap, and most markets lack the liquidity. This isn't your typical alt season, not even close. Remember the last one? Everything pumped. Every wild, obscure coin shot up. Now, only the top tier coins are moving. The truth is, people still need fresh money to fuel the market. Right now, we're firmly in a Bitcoin season. Alt season, not happening. All right, here's the story. Bitcoin is holding strong at these highs while Ethereum is starting to bounce back. Take a look at the Ethereum USD charts. Notice where we are. We're in consolidation mode. Remember what happened last time we consolidated down here? Boom, big breakout. Now we're consolidating again. So what's next? You guessed it. Another move to the upside. It's not just Ethereum and Bitcoin either. XRP is heating up. The bullish potential is huge, yet so many are sleeping on it. Why? Because all they see is this sideways action in a downtrend. But this is how it works. Consolidation leads to expansion. And no, I'm not saying we're waiting until 2026 for this. The next move is coming sooner than you think. Here's the deal. We've done the chop and now it's time to break out. Once we clear $2.60 on this chart, $2.65 on the 3-day, it's game over. All the doubters saying XRP is going nowhere, they'll be eating their words as we retest those January highs and head straight into price discovery. And guess what? That's exactly when alt season kicks in. We might just have a few more weeks, maybe towards the end of this month, to get ready. But I truly believe we're on the brink of something big. And no, this isn't something I've been saying for months. I've only said it recently and I'm ready for it. I hope you are too. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I post free content regularly, so feel free to follow me on Twitter or join the free Discord link below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.